Have you always felt welcome?
Welcome, yes.
From African families, African individuals that come from directly from the continent.
No, and that's not to dig on them, because two unknowns doesn't make a known.
Right.
You know
Gotcha.
what I mean? So we're both coming from two unknown places.
Gotcha.
And we're both going to this gray area, like, you know what I'm saying, where it's a push and pull, push and pull, push and pull. And when I say going back to, like, I should know where I come from when I'm born, I should know about my descendants when I'm born, I should know about common knowledge that y'all know, that, like, I learn every day on this show. You know what I'm saying? If you learning it too. I should know that.
Like and subscribe, by the way.
Not at 32. I should know that at what age did you learn it?
So I
should know that at that age. I should know that at that age. I should know that at that age.
Man,
this is heavy, bro.
To be honest, I didn't even know Eric could get this mentally deep.
I'm a mentally think. I overthink everything, man. That's why I'm the most empathetic person. I feel where everybody's coming from. I feel where I've connect with emotions a lot from just each person. I know emotionally where they're coming from, and I feel like that's why I'm so able to adjust with everyone, put myself in their shoes, see where they're coming from, see how they feel and everything like that. So that's just been one of my main things, and that's how, to answer your question, just how if I am embraced, it's more because it's like awakening, it's knowledge now. It's more not embrace, it's more like I'm part of that. Yeah. I'm finding my place in part of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everything I starting to learn now, oh yeah, that's part of me. Twerking. Oh, that comes from this culture. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Shout out to the twerkers, by the way, man. Reach out to us, man. We got an event coming up soon.
Certain music started in this culture. That's crazy. This is part of me. This is part of me. This is me. So when you say embrace, I feel like it's not really embrace. It's more like an awakening. It's more like, you know what I'm saying? It's like shedding a shell, you know? I can't even say that, shedding a shell, you know what I mean? Of a person that's of unknown to known. Like what they say, woke, but it's more like
conscious.
It's conscious. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's consciously, like when you connect those dots from where you at now to, because history repeats itself.
Yeah, it do.
You know what I mean? All the stuff that we're going through as in our black culture right now, we went through on our continent. I'm learning that from history from what they telling us from here on this show. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning that. And then it's so crazy how history repeated itself, because now we got all the things that happened to our culture here. That's like American Africans. That's happened to now our Africans that's here now. And it's crazy how history repeats itself, like the violence, mental health,
cycle, man.
The cycle of marriage. There's no marriage now. There's like baby mamas and stuff like that. When I was growing up, I didn't think African had baby mamas.
What did you think exactly?
You had to be married. You had to be.
Seriously? So you automatically assume.
That's how much like I felt that y'all value family and traditions and stuff like that. That's when I say that, values of family. We had baby mamas. We had young kids having kids. I didn't see
babies having babies.
I didn't see that in African culture till now. How history is repeating itself.
Because the reason why that happens, one of the reasons why that happens is back home there's accountability. You can't just go get somebody's daughter pregnant. You go get somebody's daughter pregnant, and you don't.
The whole village is coming at you.
You don't want to do the right thing.
The whole village is coming.
Believe, man, it's going to be a consequence.
The whole village is coming at you.
And unfortunately, your family or your whoever may have to pay that cost.
Yeah.
So we don't.
Your brother want to go get a job?
Yeah,
nope.
We can't.
Go tell your brother get up and take care of his kids. Yeah. Damn, that's not even me. Like, why I gotta go wake him up? Yeah. So it's like, I 100% agree with that accountability, and that's why I'm saying, like, when our history repeating itself, like all the stuff that we didn't went through here, you know what I'm saying, is what you guys, as in I say you guys, I say the African culture, younger culture. Because I feel like y'all went through with me. Yeah. So this African younger culture from, I say 12 to 18, 19, 20, 21.
Right now.
Yeah. They're going through the same stuff that we went through in the 90s. Think about it. One parent homes. You didn't used to see that in African culture.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh my
Unless
God.
something happened to the father, and then the whole village, whole community take care of the kid, right?
Yeah.
Not here.
Kush bomb.
Gang violence. We got children soldiers. We got so many aspects of that can go back to gangs, right?
Yes,
back
sir.
in the country.
No, yeah.
And we're going back through that now again with the young African culture. We got disobedient, you know, and obedience is something that's taught to us not just because you need to fall in line. It's more protection. You know,
Kush bomb.
So it's a protection thing. There's a reason why, you know what I'm saying, obedience is installed into us.
Can you say that once again? Obedience is not.
Say it with your chest,
bro. Please, man. I need them to hear that. So you said that obedience is not only just to follow rules, but it's what?
Yeah. Okay. Obedience is not only to follow rules or fall in line. It's to protect us. The reason why is from ourselves and from making mistakes of killing each other.
Let's go.
The infighting is a disease.
You know what I'm saying? Bearing child that you don't want.
Let's go.
Those are all taught in obedience stem from your parents, from your culture, from every aspect of like your life that you encounter with. You know what I'm saying? It's some type of obedience that goes in with that. There's always some consequences and repercussions to everything that you do.
Yes, sir.
So now that I'm gonna bring it all the way back around. Since we wasn't there for you guys when the refugees started coming over and everything like that, we wasn't that bridge. We wasn't that person that led that program.
Right.
You're going through the same cycle that we could have prevented if we were there in the beginning. Your kids wouldn't be going through the same cycle that I wouldn't even say that we're all the way out of, but like a lot of our age, a lot of our people our age is sick of the shit. You know what I'm saying? We sick of it. We like, you know what I'm saying? We sick of the gang violence. We sick of the like the nonsense killing. We sick of the way we getting treated.
They're tired of the straightening.
Imagine that. And this is the reason why they didn't do it. But just imagine, bear with me. Imagine if we was there in the beginning, how unified we would be right now. You think there would be police killings?
Not as what the levels that we're seeing, no.
Not with both our cultures together?
No, not at the levels we're seeing.
Accountability, obedience. If we had both of those together, we would be in a whole better, I'll just say we'd be in a better shape than we are right now. True. And that's what we was missing from both of those, like from both of those aspects, young and the older.
I just wanted to speak on one notion you said. Ochana, I'm going to let you finish. This is the last thing I'm going to say. You know, you've mentioned how now we're essentially becoming African Americans. You said to me, you didn't even know I was African until I spoke on it, correct? So we come here and we go through the Black American, the African American experience is what we go through. I'm going to tell you guys a little story, but I have to speak on this thing. I don't know if it's a term that's been used. I don't know if it's a real thing, but we have to speak on this thing called African privilege, man. Like us, we all have African privilege. And what I mean by that is we can go home. We know where our ancestors are buried. We have land back home. We can go, like, we can literally be like, hey, I'm just sick and tired of being here. I'm going to go on a trip. I'm going back home. I'm going to go see my grandma. I'm going to go see this person. I'm going to see this person. And they'll teach us about all the history that we need to know. You guys don't have that. So that's a privilege. I'm going to end with one story. When I was going to school, right?
The classes that you didn't attend.
But so I was actually I was a good student. Believe it or not, outside the attendance, I was a good student.
Well, you were a graduate student at one point.
So I was a good student, right?
Yeah. Just jokes. Jokes.
I was applying for this diversity scholarship for African Americans, right?
Okay.
So I was doing my thing academically. So I'm like, okay. I go through the African American experience.
I know.
I go through the African American experience. Like when a cop pulls me over, I don't have the privilege of like, I'm African, leave me alone, dude. And like, I can't say that. Right?
Stop it, buddy. Cut it out, man.
Right?
Do your job.
You look at my ID and be like, hey, Zamunda, huh?
Yeah. Oh, you're from Wakanda?
You're from Wakanda. I love that place.
I love vibranium. As a matter of fact, my wife has vibranium earrings, and she loves it. So
Wakanda forever.
Matter of fact, next time you go, if you could just give me some.
They hit you with one.
Yeah, bring back some.
Hey,
I hate
you
that.
do that thing.
Yeah, can you? Do you actually have vibranium in your
I hate
lips
that.
right now?
They always hit you with that when they're walking away.
Yeah. Hey.
Let's stay solid.
Yeah,
though.
so
I hear what you're saying, my brother.
I'm like, okay,
Yo.
I need this scholarship, like, and I'm doing my thing.
Yes, sir.
I apply for it, and I get rejected. They're like, hey,
African American.
they're like, hey, dude, like, what are you doing? Like, you're not African American. That's what they said to me, and I was hot. Like, I appealed it. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, how you gonna tell me what experience I go through? Like, how you gonna tell me what experience I go through?
All right.
So there's this young lady, very smart young lady, right? Shout out to her. She knows who she is. She advised me. She was like, dude, you have privilege, man. Like, you're African, bro. And that's when I really started doing my, she's like, do you know that Africans perform the highest, like, out of probably all demographics that move to America, right? So she's like, you don't need, like, we're overrepresented in a lot of things. And I hate to use the word overrepresented, but there's a lot of spaces that were created for African Americans that we tend to occupy. And we preach we're all the same. We're the same people, but we've had different experiences. No experience cannot be discounted. When you have your history taken away from you, when you have everything taken away from you.
True.
I can't sit here and be like, well, we're on the same, well, we both have taken losses. Like, yes, my country might be getting destroyed, but like, at least I know I can rebuild because I know where I come from. So
Kush
I was so hot. I sent that appeal letter, never heard back. But I was
Are you serious?
It's like those text messages when you get left on red.
yeah.
We've all been there.
I delivered a text message.
You've been on there before.
Right now.
Right? You're probably going through it right now.
So from this, I just want us to acknowledge as Africans that we do have a privilege.
It's crazy that you say that because I never really, from what I thought, when I said when I was younger, like, what I'm saying, these Africans coming over here, they're getting good credit. They're getting, you only get good credit when you don't have any.
Yeah, you don't have any. So yeah, what you gonna do?
Like I said, when I got older, my process of thinking started to change. Put one and two together. But it's crazy that you say African privilege because before we ever discussed it off camera and stuff like that, I never really even thought about it or heard of it, and that's very true. Like I told you, like I don't know where I start from. I don't know where I'm from, but with that being said, as long as I know I'm received with open arms. It's we're still on the same playing field. It's really not a privilege, you know what I mean? Because when you as you can say that, like I can go back to my land and start this and that. I now can
drop a Kush bomb.
I can now go back and find my people.
Yeah.
And be welcome with open arms. Not know, like, prove it. Where's your papers, boy? Where's your papers? Yeah. You ain't free. You ain't free.
Are you lost, boy?
I know. Are you lost?
Are you lost?
You know what town you're in? The sun's about to go down, right?
They said Zimbabwe. I don't know. They said Zimbabwe. Is this Zimbabwe? I don't know. So either or, like I can end up there and I still be, you need to go north a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? I still be heading in the right direction. And that's when I say like bridging the gap is knowledge. Knowledge. It's always going to be knowledge. It's always going to be telling me something about the homeland I don't know. You know what I mean? Telling me something about the history of the homeland I don't know. Showing me. Showing me. Worldwide max. Showing me where I don't know. And those three things is what's gonna bridge the gap. As you can say in railroad, like lay the foundation for us to keep chucking on and everything like that. So my question onto you guys is,
oh, you got a question for us?
Yeah, that's not how this thing works.
I don't. Wait, you're.
How we
aren't you the
how we
director?
gonna bridge the gap if we don't, you know what I'm saying, get both sides? So my question to you guys is, like, from your aspects of coming here to America and everything like that. William says, like, you know what I'm saying, when he was younger, he used to get made fun of until
started playing basketball.
Started getting into the same interests and stuff like that. what is some from your aspect that you can bring over to us? Like WizKid.
Shout out to WizKid.
You know, just anything like that you can feel like that can draw us in. What would you tell the viewers right now? Because yes, we are bridging the gap with me, but we're also bridging the gap with viewers now too. Also, so if you were to throw them tidbits, what would you say? Like, what would you say? Where should they look up? What should they like? What knowledge should they go after first?
First things first, if I were to speak to my Afro-American brother, as I do quite often, by the way, I indulge in this all the time. This whole diaspora thing is actually something we live and breathe every day.
Yeah, because we have plenty of conversations off camera.
Definitely. My first thing I would say, and people would probably take this the wrong way, let go of the pride and dignify.
Yeah,
because within dignity, you find identity.
Dang.
So now we have pride but no identity. So what are we proud about?
Exactly.
The block that we're racketeering, the whole you claim the block that they're gonna take you all to jail for.
That they're gonna gentrify.
Yeah,
after
they're gonna gentrify.
And just to piggyback off of that, like I always felt like that with like when they be like buy the block back. I'm like, I don't want that block in the first place. And that's like I swear people like, oh, you need to invest in North Omaha. We need to keep North Omaha. Like my whole thing when I was growing up, I wanted to be out of Omaha so bad.
Now, if I could give you an example to go along with what I'm saying, one of the last surviving slaves, his name was Cujo Lewis.
Man,
Cujo Lewis.
R.I.P. to that man.
God bless that great ancestor soul. Cujo Lewis was from the Dahomey tribe. Or no, he was from Ghana and was captured by the Dahomey.
Shout out to Ghana.
And then sold to the Clotilda. The Clotilda came from Mobile, Alabama. This was after.
Shout out to Rich Boy.
Yeah.
I know this book that he's representing that he's going to talk about. Go ahead, man.
Now, Cujo Lewis was brought here after 21, after 1865. But it was just based off of people wanting to go back to see if they could actually bring slaves here without the American government knowing, which they succeeded in. Now, Cujo Lewis, once he was freed, and once the Emancipation Proclamation happened, shout out to Juneteenth, by the way, that just passed recently.
Shout out.
And it was just made a national holiday. Shout out to that, Kush for that. Cujo Lewis and his fellow people that were slaves in Mobile went north of Mobile and created Africatown. So they created something.
In what state?
In the state of Alabama.
Yeah.
About 15 miles north of Mobile.
And that book is right here.
What happened to that?
The book is right here.
No, Africatown still exists. Cujo Lewis descendants still exist to this day. Matter of fact, there's a statue made off of his artistic replication because he survived into the late 1900s. I mean, early 1900s, excuse me. Now, Africatown exists, and to this day, it's something that anybody from that area of Mobile, Alabama, can go back to and draw inspiration from. So forget this.
Yeah,
gang.
so yeah, we'll be doing an episode there.
Yeah, so forget the gang, forget the block, forget this. You want to be proud of something? What did our ancestors build? They built Africatown. So instead of having pride, let's dignify. Within dignity, we find our identity. You feel me?
Exactly.
And it doesn't have to be Kush. It doesn't have to be Egypt. It doesn't have to be South Africa.
because every time it's Egypt, South Africa, you know what I mean? That's all I see pictures of. That's all I, I receive news of and everything like that. So yeah, I understand. I believe that. And I feel like that would be something that Africatown, I didn't even know about that. Now, if that's something that should be known.
See, listen, the reason why it's only known, like for example, do I have any tie to Africatown? No. My only tie to that is that people who look like me existed here. Am I tied to that through the loin? Did I come through Cujo Lewis? No. But he is my great ancestor.
Right.
Which means that it's necessary that I know what he went through. And just like I should know what Mama Harriet Tubman.
And that's my point. So that's something, and that's a tidbit that for the viewers is that that's something that should be known from bridging the gap. Like, because like I said, I didn't even know about Africa Town.
Yes, and
I would never step foot in Alabama. I'm just gonna be
Same
perfectly
here.
honest until he just told me about that.
Unless you guys want to give me an Alabama football ticket or something like that.
I don't even like Alabama football team, but yeah. But is there anything else culture wise? Like I would give you an example. Like I go to festivals. You know, I eat the food. You know what I'm saying? We go out to eat all the time, and they put me on the, hey, try this, try that.
matter of fact, Ochanda, you being new within the realm that we've lived in right now, there's something coming up called Taste of What, which is a huge reference that you could reference our brother to here.
Yeah, maybe you're about to dive into it. You're about to go in and talk about, you know, you eat continental African foods from Nigeria, from Cameroon, because there's a big West African community here in Omaha.
Shout out to West Africa.
You know, and I'm not saying that East Africa's not here, but the West Africans, you guys run the restaurant hospitality industry here in Omaha. As far as the black population. The tidbit that I have is that there's a lot of foods in the African American culture that were influenced by the enslaved Africans.
Boom.
For instance, you know, in the South they have jambalaya. Jambalaya comes from jollof, which is
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Can I drop a Kush bomb on that?
Drop a Kush bomb.
You teaching me things.
Jambalaya comes from jollof.
What about chitlins? Chitlins
So-
also as well.
When I say those tidbits, right? When I say those tidbits, you know what that gives me? That gives me ammo. That's why we need to know all that stuff. That gives me ammo. So when somebody comes up to me like, oh, you know what I'm saying, jambalaya, that's pretty good. Yeah, and food is, you know what I'm saying, this comes from so-and-so. What he just said, I don't want to butcher the name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You can say jollof. Just try with me.
Jollof. I got it now.
That's
that you said.
I can't. Okay,
I got it now after you said it, but when you first said it,
jollof.
So
And maybe because I'm not West African, maybe I'm even pronouncing it wrong.
And there's different types of jollof. There's
There you go. Are you
Nigerian
Senegalese
jollof.
jollof?
Wait, whoa. Let's not get jollof for us. Let's not do that. Hey, peace to our West African brothers, man.
Brothers and sisters.
But that gives me ammo now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's all we need is ammo. So we don't need a white person telling me about
Let's go.
You should go learn about this.
Africa history.